All right, so this is the news article reader response student guide. This is going to be your assignment for the next 2 days. I expect these to be turned in by Friday. And so we're basically going to go ahead and go through the guide itself, and then I'm going to show you what the first paragraph looks like, complete and finished. So just bear with me here. We're going to go ahead and talk about the directions. This section is your directions. Okay, you're going to read the attached article using a highlighter and a pencil. You can also use it just with a marker or another pen so that you can underline and then make notes in the margin. As you read the article, underline important details. Example of those details would be title of article, the date of publication, author, topic, sentences, etc. Remember your 5 W's. So we can get this to right, sorry. Back this up here. Remember your 5 W's plus the H, who, what, when, where, why, and how. All right, those are the areas that we're looking for importance. Next, you're going to make a comment about each of the details you highlighted. If you highlighted, say, the title of the article, you must make a note saying title of article or just title works. If you highlight the date of publication, you have to put on there date of publication. If you do a topic sentence about what is going on, such as the very first sentence in our news article talks about Oklahoma City bombing, this is what we're talking about. This is the topic sentence, Oklahoma City bombing. And you need to say that this is what we're talking about, okay? And I will show you an example of that whenever I flip over to the next document. Anyway, so you need to make a comment about the detail that you highlighted. Write small and clear so that you don't confuse yourself in your writing. If you highlight a sentence, you must make a comment, and you must highlight at least one sentence per paragraph found within the article. Number 3, using this guide, write a reader response using your notes to guide your response. Make sure to capitalize the beginning of each sentence and end with correct punctuation. If you mention a name, you must capitalize it. Write using complete sentence structures and write neatly. If I cannot read it, I don't grade it. And actually what you're going to do is you're going to type this into Google Classroom on the attached document. So you won't need to worry about the actual handwriting part of this except for your notes. Your final response for this one is actually going to be between 1 to 1.5 pages. It won't be between 1.5 to 2 pages as in the guide, but just so you know, because the article is a little bit smaller. Anyway, those are the directions. If you need to re-listen to those, rewind it. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the 5 areas of the article in which, 7 areas of the article in which you're going to be looking for. Okay, so before you read, you're going to make a prediction. You're going to look over the article before you begin to read. Highlight the title, bold the underlined word, bold or underline word, side notes, doc, or any other information that you see that is outside of the actual article itself. Okay? With these highlights, you need to make a prediction of what the article is going to be about. You need to include the title, author, date of publication, website, and any other important information regarding this article in this section of your response. Your prediction needs to be a minimum of 3 sentences. And in reality, with this one in particular, because it is so small, 1 to 2 well-written sentences works for me, and I'm okay with that. Number 2, you have graphics. Well, with this article, you don't have any graphics, so you're going to write on there. There are no graphics in this article, okay? And then after you've highlighted and you've read and you've marked, now it's time to write. So you're going to use your notes and highlighted areas to summarize your article. This is called summary. This does not mean to retell the article word for word. Now remember that I can go in and read this article myself without having you tell me word for word what the article says. I need to hear your ideas and your thoughts about this article and what you got out of it as my student, okay? Your notes need to be included within the response and used to help guide your summary. Incorporate setting, the place, date, time, any main characters, the issues found in the article, etc. To help this process, use a concrete detail, something that is solid that you can prove, okay? What you found in the article, and commentary format, which are your thoughts about any specific details. It can be 1 to 2 sentences. This section for this particular article is only going to be between probably 1.5 to 2, maybe 3 paragraphs long if we're lucky, okay? All right, so now the next part of this is your main idea and your theme. I use the analogy of Red Riding Hood to determine main idea and theme. Most of us have read Red Riding Hood or have been exposed to it through some form or another in our society. What is the main idea of Red Riding Hood versus what is the theme? What is Red Riding Hood all about? Well, the answer to that is that it's about a little girl who takes a basket of goodies, encounters a wolf, and fights for her life. The theme is the life lesson taught. The life lesson taught in Red Riding Hood, or the theme of Red Riding Hood, can be many. It can be don't talk to strangers, listen to your parents, stay on the right path, avoid dangerous situations, stand up for what you believe in, etc., etc. Just choose one of those to tell me what the theme of this whole article is all about. Main idea, what the article is actually about, one sentence. Theme, what is the life lesson taught in that article, one sentence. Then the author's purpose. The author's purpose for this article is very, very, very strongly stated. The author of this article wanted you to know that there's a thing that we need to do and take action when it concerns what's going on in the article, okay? This is going to be 1 to 2 sentences. And then in my world, this is the second most important part of this reader response. How do the ideas from this article pertain to the world around you? If it doesn't affect you personally, it's going to affect somebody in your life, okay? So we look at the article. The article's titled Civility in the Wake of Savagery. And so you've got civility, meaning life, human, mankind, and savagery, meaning something terrible happening. And if we're going to treat each other with civil manner, we're going to treat each other kind in the face of something terrible or horrific happening in our culture, okay? And so if we look at that concept of what is going on with the Oklahoma City bombing, which is what this article is actually about, and I talk about my world. Well, I have a son graduating in April from the police academy, and I have a son that just left today to go back to AIT training for the service, for military service. And when something like that happens, National Guard and police are both very first responders. And so in my world, both of my sons would be affected, which would then affect me as their mom, okay? So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to share that. You cannot write, it does not affect me or my world. This will give you 60 at the most on your paper, because you need to connect to these articles personally, all right? When you're done with this, you are going to, when you're done writing, because you're going to be writing in Google Classroom, and let me show you that here. Let me go ahead and open up Google Classroom for you so you can see it. You're going to go into Google Classroom, into our hour. You're going to go into your form, okay? And you're going to go in and you're going to look at, there's prediction and graphics and summary and main idea and theme, author's purpose, my world. You're going to actually type in this form, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it in directly from there. And you are also going to take and upload, you're going to also take a picture of and upload your news article. This is what your news article will start to look like when you start working on it, okay? So this one was mine, and I've given you some examples here. Number 1, I said there's no graphics, okay? So I told you that. Title, okay? Then we have the publisher, the April 25th, Chicago Tribune. Here are my words and the ideas that I pulled, my 5 W's and an H. What's going on, concern for our country, why we're looking to protect America, what can we do, or what are the issues, dangers are more close to home than we realize. Some of the questions are our own people making things worse? What is it concerning this concept of the Oklahoma City bombing, okay? So that's going to be my first paragraph. And I gave you my reader response for just prediction, graphics, and summary. And that summary is just for the first paragraph. You have multiple paragraphs that you need to go through. A good 10 of them need to be done front and back. So don't think you're done just because you have one small paragraph already written for you. That doesn't work that way. This is just an example. These are my words. This is just to help you, guide you in what you're doing. So let me just show you really quick. Here's my prediction. I predict that the article titled, and notice that I put in quotation marks the title of the article because it's within an actual published piece, The Civility in the Wake of Savagery. It was published in the Chicago Tribune. Notice I underlined Chicago Tribune because it's the title of the entire newspaper. On April 25th, 1995, I put that in there because it tells me the date, will be about our response to something terrible in our society and how we should handle ourselves following a really bad situation. So that's going to be my prediction. That is one sentence, and it's well written. So that's fine with me. I told you could do that. Graphics, there are no graphics in this article. Remember, I told you that you have to use complete sentences. And then here we have the summary. Oklahoma City bombing gives rise to concerns for our country and the protection of America when someone else attacks our country. Take a look at this. Okay, that's going to be my summary. But if you go back, you can see that Oklahoma City's bombing. Okay, you can see the Oklahoma City's bombing. Okay, gives rise to concerns for our country and the protection of America. Bringing about the questions of, are we making, or are our own people making things worse, which could lead to possible dangers far closer than we actually realize. And you're going to notice that's what I said in my reader response article. I used my words to support that, okay? So you're going to see that here. Oklahoma City bombing, concerns for our country, protection of America, and someone else attacks. However, the article does not focus on outside terror. It focuses on our reaction to it. It questions if our own people are making it worse, causing dangers closer to home than we realize. All of that has to do with what I said about the news article. You are going to do this for every single paragraph. When you go back into the article, you're going to notice that these two paragraphs are small. Okay, think about relationship. Is it cause and effect? Is it compare and contrast? Is it problem solution? If it can relate in any way, shape, or form, you can use these as one sentence together. Okay? Especially when they're short like that. Same goes for the sentences down here. Let's see if I can get it in there. There we go. Same goes for this sentence here. This sentence can either go up here if it connects or down here if it connects. Because they're so small, you can use them and combine them so that you can pull together. Now, when you're done, so you can pull together the ideas. Now, when you're done, all of this will be additionally highlighted like this one is, okay? With notes, marks, and whatever. And your next page will also have that same idea. You need to do it all the way to the end so that you can fully talk about your news article in your summary, okay? So basically, you're going to go in and you're going to answer these questions. Here's the template. Prediction, graphic, summary, main idea, theme, author's purpose, and my world. And you're going to respond to those by using the entire news article to help support what you're saying. I hope this is fairly clear. I hope you understand what you're doing. Prediction's going to have 1 to 2, 3 sentences. Graphics, or of course there's not going to be any. Summary's going to be between 2 and 3 paragraphs. Main idea, 1 sentence. Theme, 1 sentence. Author's purpose, 1 sentence. And my world, at least a full paragraph, if not 2. So please go in and see the reader response article, copy of the reader response guide. I'll go ahead and upload that or send that to you. And also attach and share this this picture with you so that you can see it. Anyway, I hope this makes sense, and email me or message me on Google Classroom if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.